book besties. So I just finished The Sinner by Shantell Tessier, and I rated this book 5 out of 5 stars. This book scared me, and not like in like I would never read this book kind of way again, but in a if I ever met a sin in my life, I would cry. I would try running for the hills, but I don't think he would ever let you run for the hills if he became obsessed with you. But I kind of liked it at the same time. This is book 2 in the Lord's series. I have a review video up for the Ritual, which is book 1. So if you want to go check that out, please do. This is your one warning. There will be spoilers. So if you don't want The Sinner spoiled, just keep scrolling. If you don't know, this book follows Easton Sin and Ellington, but we call her Ellie. Obviously, Sin is part of the Lords and is a senior at Barrington University. His and Ellie's families have known each other for like since they were kids. So it's Sin's senior year, and he has to take a chosen, which is kind of like the girl that he can do whatever he wants to for the whole like rest of senior year until graduation. And he skips the vow ceremony to choose a chosen because he's been obsessed with Ellie since like before he started initiation in college and stuff. Because if you know, the first 3 years of your Lord's initiation, so pretty much the first 3 years of your college experience, you're not allowed to have sex at all. So it's kind of like their reward for being initiated into the Lords is like their senior year. They get this girl to do whatever they want with because they've been celibate this whole time. He skips it and he doesn't choose a chosen. One's chosen for him anyways in the book. I'm not going to get into it because it's a whole like, you start here and you're like, okay, maybe I understand what's going on. And then you're like all the way over here and you're like, actually, I have no idea what's happening. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening around here? Yeah, most of the time I was so confused. It's okay, because it all gets explained in the end, which I love the way it's written, because you're as confused as the female main character in the book until the main male character decides to give you the information towards the end of the book. So you're pretty much just in the same boat as the female main character the whole book. Being like, wait, what? What's happening? Why did you do that? Why are you sneaking around trying to do things that I like don't understand? Yeah. So I honestly love the way it's written because it like just leaves you with question marks the whole book until pretty much the end, and then you're like, oh, I get it now. So back to the storyline. Okay, so let's get into Ellie's backstory a little bit. Ellie lost her dad. I think she was 8. She wasn't very old when she lost her dad. Her dad was part of the Lords. So once a Lord takes a lady, which is like his wife, if the Lord dies, the Lord's group decides who that lady is going to marry next. They kind of just gift her to another man to be like, here you go. So that way, like, she can't go out and like spread secrets and stuff like that. She stays within the Lord's organization. So her mom ends up remarrying like a couple years later to this guy named James. And James is a terrible dude who ends up taking advantage of Ellie when she's a minor and ends up sharing her with her friends. One being Link. James is then eventually taken out when Ellie is 18. And then a couple years later, Ellie's mom remarries to Link. Ellie has just been through the ringer her whole life. And to deal with it, she medicates the unhealthy way. She's lived a hard life, okay? There's a lot of backstory between Sin and Ellie that I'm leaving out because if I get into it, this video is going to be like over 30 minutes long, and I don't think you guys want to stick around for that. So he ends up trying to make Ellie his chosen, and since she wasn't on the list of females that can be chosen, he can't choose her. So he's forced to take another chosen, but he doesn't want anything to do with that girl, so he's like, I don't care. And he's with Ellie all the time. Until some outside forces kind of like change things, and he has to like do things that like aren't going to make Ellie happy. He does some very morally gray, red flaggy things in this book, okay? Well, between the masks and the kidnapping and the piercing body parts of hers that she didn't request or ask for, the branding, the tattoo of his name, and then the secretly having her sign papers that she has no idea what she's signing. Like, he like lies to her and he's like, oh, I bought this house for us, I need you to sign these documents, to be like, it's in both of our names, and in reality it's actually her signing a marriage certificate. He like mixed the marriage certificate in with the other documents that she needed to sign for the house, and she signed that without even looking at it. So they'd been married for like half the book and she didn't even know it. Like I said, scares me. But towards the end, you're like, in the beginning of the book, he scared the shiz out of me. I was like, oh my God, you're gonna kill me. And then towards the end of the book, you're like, oh, he was doing it for good reasons. It's fine. He has his good moments. It's like you just reason with him being like this red flag, morally gray character. Honestly, great book. I'm excited to keep reading the Lord series. So, if you want to stick around for the rest of my review videos, please do. If you haven't checked out The Sinner by Shantell Tessier, go freaking do it. Definitely read The Ritual first, because I feel like if you read The Ritual first, it gives a lot more insight of like what the Lord's organization is and the chosen ceremony and those kinds of things. Whereas this is like a continuation of that, just with different characters. Go read them. Yeah, do it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.